Welcome in to the Dice Dragons Guild.
I thought you would just go, moo. Just moo.
I would do it, but we sleep in the same bed.
In this hall, we unite under one banner. Live by the die.
Die by the die!
Oh, shit, a 1?
Well, I'm taking it. That was
11.
That was a
11. I'm good.
15.
That's above middle.
15, Pat?
9.
That was the highest.
15
I think
was
it's
the
the
winner.
highest I think I've rolled so far on
We're good,
those.
we're
So.
I got a 1 if that makes you feel better.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ayla.
No, it's trauma. I get it. It's trauma. It's trauma. I get it.
I just want to be like, I just want to do this.
Spirit fingers? I was going to be like, Adam, high five, buddy.
I know. I hate it when we do that because we're always like,
Always like-
lean back.
Oh, just hit him. Just kidding.
Lean back.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for session 23 of our story that we are building together. Please don't forget to subscribe.
Do not
You say
subscribe.
don't.
Whatever you do, don't do
Don't
it.
subscribe
We do
to
not
us.
want any
We
more
do
people.
not want it.
Too
Little
many.
reverse psychology.
People are clamoring.
We are up to 133 subscribers, which is 2 below what we had the whole time over on the Nat 30s, even though the Nat 30s was it was Twitch mostly. But we're about to surpass and grow. So, yeah, please subscribe and thank you for your support. Also reminding folks, we are doing our Stand Up to Cancer Charity Week in collaboration with the Compound. So that's here in South Coast, Massachusetts. We're adding a couple of days to this. So it's going to start on Saturday, August 12th and go through Sunday, August 20th. So you can go follow the Compound on Twitch and or join their Discord. And you can also check out the link that I will eventually have up to our Tiltify, which is technically live, but we're going to be raising money for cancer charity.
I think we all
reviews.
have our characters ready, right, for the arena battle.
Yeah, so we'll be doing an arena battle on the 13th, and then there's a bunch of other things, including Thirsty Sword Lesbians on, hopefully, fingers crossed, the 17th.
Such an awesome name.
I love the art for that game.
I
is
want
so
a rock
cool.
band called that.
And Hero Quest on Tuesday, the 13th, 14th, 15th, where actually our lovely friend Giles McNeil, who has been creating these Sunday Quest adventures, which you can get for free if you want the digital copy, or you can purchase them on Amazon or on yeold.com. He is creating 5 adventures specifically for us to run. That is going to be for our charity stream. So we'll be doing the first of the 5. It's going to be a limited edition that you can only get a certain number of them or until the end of the year, and all of the proceeds go to the Stand Up to Cancer. So we're kind of collaborating with a bunch of folks and getting it done. So just check out our stuff, and I'll have more information as we get rolling. And I make images and more images and more images to throw out on our social media, which will give us more details.
I have to share an embarrassing fact because it'll sit with me until 2 a.m. if I don't. When you said ye old with an E, my brain went, how the fuck else would you spell ye? How, like, for like an embarrassing,
With an I.
like I saw it like 6 or 7 seconds and I was like, oh, it's on the
Ye with an I, old with an E,
Oops.
and in with 3 N's.
I had to say that because otherwise, like 2 days from now, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, what the fuck?
You've been thinking about that for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm gonna be on my deathbed like, ye with a fucking what?
When last we left, our young adventurers, your courage in dashing through the West Gate to save civilians and travelers from Balstead that had been traveling to receive safety within the walls of Mosswick, had caught the attention of individuals in high places, much to the chagrin of at least one in your party. After catching up with Callie of Callie's, who was in chains after being arrested for the assault of her nemesis, Lewis, of the Balstead boarding house, you headed back to the Starlight Concert Hall for a rest. But waiting outside on the steps was your mentor, Melpomene. who informed you that the military had questions and wanted to chat at your earliest convenience. Deciding against arrest in the theater due to a Sigald Swiftflower having a temper tantrum, you instead found a shady area in the Unity Square and discussed your options for moving forward. Your rest was eventually interrupted by Glitterati Divine and Serafina Devania, 2 drag queens from the Arts District. Devania gave you a tiny history lesson on the Queendom of Devenia and its connection with vampires. And there was a somewhat noticeable ramping up of Kai's social terseness. But with a quick spritz to the face, you were off to the Citadel for your audience with the commander of the Valiant. Outside the gates, you noticed mercenary groups looking to remove their names from the roster of available bodies, and the mayor's secretary, Valen, greeted you and brought you inside. The ostentatiously crafted Citadel welcomed you all in with its stained glass windows and polished stone floors, but the welcome was less than cheerful once you entered the office of Commander Torrin Stoneforge. Interrogation, sprinkled ever so slightly with gratitude, awaited you in the room, filled with awards and recognition of the commander's successes. He asked, and you answered, mostly. Stoneforge pointed you in the direction of the harbor master for clues about your unknown tattoo found on the dead body of one of the alleged guardian abductors at the Whaling Coast. He then strongly requested that you take up the charge of finding the source of the monsters, the rift that Adrio mentioned to him, having heard it from you. With the military focused on protection and defense, the newly recognized city guard focused on peacekeeping in the city walls, and the mercenary piecing out once they saw the aberrations, your capabilities were in high demand. In exchange, you were given vouchers to the military's own smithy, Forge Fire Armory, and permission to utilize low-level runic weapons and armor of your choice. Dismissed, you all left the office to go shopping for your new toys, except Kai, who was asked to stay back. The commander then confronted the Prince of Devenia, asking what you were doing here, why you were traveling with randoms, and if you knew what was happening back home.
Not random.
To further persuade you into taking his job of finding the source of the monsters, he stated that he would keep your secret, even going so far as to send Morden from the Cassian Guard army away, as he was the one who tipped Stoneforge off about you in the first place. Your next stop was the Harbor Master, where the angry and disappointed Neria Galerider agreed to get you information on the Storm Tattoo, if you in turn agreed to investigate a ship that had arrived in port with no crew. Tied up on the north side of the docks, she just wants the captain's log so she can understand what occurred, but it was too spoopy for the city guard, and the military has been less than helpful. Again, you agreed, but you had enough action for one day and decided to rush back to the Starlight Concert Hall, arriving just before Sigald Swiftflower's one-man show, Tales of Sigald, the Sigald story. And so we rejoin you. As you stepped inside of the Starlight Concert Hall, folks all sitting down and getting ready for Sigald's performance. One of the Daydream Revolution approached you, Iolite, and handed you a rope that kind of helps to guide where one of the lights is going to be shining, but you also do know that you can like say a command word and the lights around will change colors and whatnot as needed for a show. You said that, Ayla, that you were standing like in the backstage-ish area where you can see.
Yeah, you know how like when someone's on stage, it's like the producer.
Stage left, stage right.
Just like off to the side.
Melpomene's on the opposite side, doing the same thing. What are the three of you doing? Are you hanging out with them backstage?
Yeah, we'd be hanging backstage so we don't get mistaken for regular people out in the crowd.
Randos.
If there's anything for Eldon to sit on, he will.
Okay.
With a great sigh.
Right. You easily find a crate of some kind that you are able to sit down on. So as Sigald walks forward, there's a hush that begins to come over And then somebody did something and he ended up going like this. But I don't remember what it was. Oh, maybe there was clapping. Yeah. He just, no.
You do.
He goes and sits down. And as he steps out onto the stage and there's a quiet that hushes, you see Paley, Stout Mouse, one of the halfling sister of the brother-sister duo, comes over to you as Seagal begins to speak, and the light is shining down on him as directed by you, and Paley comes over and she whispers, she's like, "You're not gonna believe this. This isn't a fucking one-man show. This guy, he wants us to act it out. I'm gonna need your help. I'll just let you know what you gotta do, but yeah, that's exactly, he told us that this afternoon. And her brother, Sharner, comes over and he's like, I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I'm ready.
I am not pleased with this.
And Seagal begins his...
This is inspired by Barry. This past season that we watched of Barry.
No, I'm just... Seagal begins his monologue. He sits down and he has this gnome with short cropped hair, older. He pulls out this one of those long cigarette holders.
Cruella de Vil one.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
he
an old French style
lights-
cigarette holder.
Yes, and he takes a drag, and everybody is totally quiet, and the light is like shining down on him. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, gather closely, for tonight I shall weave a tale that not only tantalizes with scandal and intrigue, but delves into the depths of my own existence." He looks up. In this rendition of Tales of Seagal, the Seagal story, I shall share with you a personal saga, a chapter in my life that unfolded amidst the secrets and whispers of Beachmere. He takes a deep breath, and his eyes are reflecting this mix of vulnerability and excitement, but you can't really tell if that's acting or real. And I can't remember all their names. Paley, it's just like, okay, this is gonna be. I just need your help. I'll let you know. I'll cue you in.
Is she talking to just
She's talking to all of you.
everybody?
Oh yeah, you're all
You
back.
decided
Mommy,
to
I got
sit
this rope, I gotta hold
backstage. You should have got a seat in the crowd.
And you see
If
Melpomene's
it's a
on
performance roll, I have a -3, and I already have a -1. It's going to be -4 to every roll.
It's gonna be so good.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's
I
gonna be
can't
so
wait.
good.
I know.
So Melpomene is on the other side.
You still
we'll
have
say
3 points of exhaustion.
I know,
too.
that's why I
That's
have
what I'm
-4
saying.
Like
to every roll.
we have not had a long rest in
listening?
like
No.
3 or 4 sessions.
We'll
not.
say
It's okay.
UL are on the left side and Melpomene's on the right, and she's looking over, and you see like this look on Mel's face. You look over and kind of make eye contact, and she's just like,
And I'm just like,
she just nods at you, like, yep. You have a whole conversation between the two of you. What the fuck? I know, but this is Seagal, and you know better. I tried to keep you out of it by having you not come in, but it didn't really work out. Picture it, my friends. Beachmere, where my footsteps traced the cobblestone paths and my heart danced to the rhythm of secrets. Within that seemingly tranquil village, beneath my charming facade, my own story unfurled. A story intertwined with scandal, passion, and the search for truth. He gazes off into the distance, reliving the memories that were etched into his soul.
I hate this guy already.
clearly you
Paley,
didn't hang out with theater kids.
Paley looks over and she's like, you see Elmfrid comes over and she's like, all right, we're the seagulls. Who's coming with me? And Paley's like, go, somebody go. I'm going to roll a d4 if you don't raise your hand. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do that. Kai. She just grabs your hand and she's like, and she goes out and you, like kind of watching her go, she just kind of goes out behind and Seagal does not react to her. Like, she's supposed to be in the background. I need you to roll a performance check to kind of like, or I would say an insight check.
Okay.
Because like the lighting is white right now, but you would kind of imagine that it needs to change for the scene change.
Yep.
Kai,
Where's your cacao?
what are you doing? As she goes out and is like,
Perfect.
She's an actual bird, though.
Fucking
she's
bird.
an owl. She's not a seagull.
I know. Yeah, but that noise that Edith made. Top-notch seagull noise.
Kai, like, just deadpan, just go.
You see,
Call.
Ooh, goo, get you. Ooh, goo, get you.
super white, like the light is reflecting
Looks like a
off of
seagull.
his skin.
So fucking white.
12.
I'd say you're a professional at this, so you know, like you kind of what.
I've been
color,
doing this 6+ months.
What color
For
would
a
you?
beach? Ooh, well, I
Yeah.
think like a gold, kind of like a sunrise, like golden color.
Okay, you see,
Does the light reflect off of him like his skin is marble?
It's
like
just
a
like-
vampire Lestat?
so white.
Everyone in the crowd's like, fuck, no.
Is that how we can tell that what he is?
Can-
I thought he was going to ask
Only
if he
see-
sparkled in the sun.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you were going to
No.
ask. I was going to be like,
No.
no.
I only do real vampires.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
You see
thank you.
Seagal's silhouette, because you know when it's like a bright light source, you only see
Oh,
his
yeah, yeah.
Spotlight behind him.
You can see Sharner and I'm gonna say Kurak, who is the vocals and percussion, half male, half orc, half human, are both like pushing like waves behind a sand thing in the background of like, it's like a paper, not paper, but almost if cardboard existed, like a cardboard cutout, and they're pushing them back and forth so you can see the waves. Seagal is did you roll a performance check?
Oh, no, I
Actually,
did not.
I didn't ask you to do that. Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh,
I see double digits.
It's a 19.
oh, there you go.
You're very...
Start getting into it. He's like adding, and Elmford comes by you and is like,
I mean,
royal training.
well, not for nothing, a charisma-based character, you know how they just say, you just sit there and look pretty. So he doesn't have to do anything well. He's just pretty.
she tries to like do a thing where she's, you know, when a seagull is like attacking another seagulls for food, she just kind of dives in at you a little bit, walking obviously, but just like in the background, and Seagal is just like, he's pleased.
The Seagal is pleased.
Seagal is pleased. And after just a second of this, Elmford is like tugs on your sleeve as you're able to walk away. Now you don't have to do another thing. It's the rest of you. Ah, Beachmere, where I discovered that even in a place bathed in sunlight, shadows could cast their spell. It was there that I met her, a seamstress whose gentle touch mended not only fabrics, but the fragments of my weary heart. And then you see Paley, and she's like, it's like you. She heads out onto the stage, and she just does like, and looks around the stage at the people, and then just pattering around.
I want that as a GIF. Can you make that a GIF that we can use on the Discord?
We need a that camera we need to be able to pull from this camera.
Our love bloomed amidst whispered rumors, for our affection defied the expectations of society. His voice trembles a little bit with emotion. And then Paley looks back at your crew as someone needs to play Seagal.
Iolite quickly switches in a gobo that has hearts. And then the hearts kind of like go by.
That's when Kai will.
You're on the other side of the stage. You can't do that.
Oh no, they went back to
Yeah.
that side.
Fuck.
It's like, need a man. I'm a seagull.
I'm gonna roll a d6.
It's theater.
1, 2,
It
3,
doesn't
4,
need to be
5,
man.
6. You going?
I guess. He's gonna like look at Iolite and be like, don't make me do this. He's tattered and still covered in blood.
Wait, he's still
Actually, no, he
bleeding.
changed. He changed.
He's
He changed.
You see
forgot.
Paley is just like,
He'll walk out. I guess.
do you do anything?
Ouch.
He'll walk out and take her hand.
Theratrix is gonna stay behind. He's like, boop, 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 boop.
He has shame.
So you put your hand down because
It's a
she
new
is a
emotion.
halfling about 4 foot
Yeah,
tall.
he'll-
She reaches up and then she just kind of twirls around you and like does that thing where she looks up into your face, but you're all kind of acting this out behind Sigald. So I'll
Like-
have you roll a performance
Like
check.
trying to kiss him?
No, just
Oh. Okay.
Well, you'd be kissing her, not him. He's just like the.
No, I
the
know.
narrator.
She's
she's trying to kiss him. Trying to kiss him.
That was a 5 - 4 for a 1. Not on that one, but still
You
just
have
as fucking
minus
bad.
4 in performance.
No, I have a -1, but I have 3
fuck,
levels of
the
exhaustion.
Right? Yeah.
So
Really
what?
aren't listening.
What happens
I
in
have
this
had
moment
a lot of beers.
to be?
Not enough food.
So yeah, you should probably drink some water.
No.
You should probably drink some
Fine.
water.
I won't.
What happens with the -1? What or a
He
nat 1?
mistakes the Q and actually does kiss her.
Leans down and she's like,
like
but
legit,
then she's like,
but like legit, like face, like passionate, like just totally misread every cue there was.
Like
She's
the
like-
tongue is tickling the back of the throat.
oh,
Why would
I
you
mean-
do
Is that
that
his
to me?
first kiss?
Because this is a -1.
You-
she's like, hold on, I'm gonna roll something.
She throws up on me.
We're gonna see.
No, she might fall in love with you.
She's gonna roll how hard she bites.
She leans into it.
You-
She's just like,
She's committed.
Look at you, big kid.
and you hear some
And
whispers.
Iolite is but a memory.
I will say Iolite's like,
Watch the lighting changes.
I feel about that, right? I feel something right now.
Those hearts go away.
You do hear some murmurs, and Sigald kind of like looks over and sees this, and he's like, he is not pleased.
Thought it was
And
awful
then
happened.
she pulls back from the embrace, and you have to stand there now, as Sigald continues. But fate, my dear friends, has a wicked sense of humor. The serenity of our romance was shattered when an enigmatic stranger arrived, a captivating figure who ignited passions both dangerous and alluring. Betrayal, jealousy, and the pull of forbidden desire intertwined our destinies, turning our once idyllic love into a complex web of emotions. I need a stranger to walk out on stage.
Oh, I wink at Iolite and I step on stage like a fucking boss.
Lighting, switch to red. Thunderclap, go.
Roll another insight to see if you did what he was hoping you would do, and then you can.
Nat 20.
There you
shit,
go.
look
at
The rumble goes across
They don't pay
the
you
stage.
I'm gonna raise under this.
But
You guys get paid?
as Ayla steps out onto the stage, there are people who start to go like, ooh, there's talking and all of that. So I'll have you roll. What should you roll? Roll a performance, because
Don't let me fuck up.
you don't want to steal the stage from Sigald.
I'm sorry, I did.
you upstaged him?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Well, I would say with a 25, you didn't. You're a
Oh.
professional who knows
All right.
how to handle this situation, so that, like, as you come out to be the stranger, Sigald was not, you weren't part of the prep for this. So he looks over as you come out, and he just, like, has this look of, like, bitch, you better not. And then,
It's like that first like scene when somebody on like a sitcom would like first and they go, whoa.
yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
when Kramer comes
yeah,
opens
so,
the
so
door.
like, it's not,
slid in.
it's not like time
Nobody said
freezes.
Burt Reynolds was in
Yeah.
this episode.
It's not like time freezes, like, but everyone's just like subtly just like waiting for it to like quiet down and then just continue
Yeah.
on.
So there's, like, a little murmur, but you, like, kind of are able to make a hand gesture or whatever it is to let people know, like, no, this is Sigald's story.
About me.
And what do you do as you approach as the stranger who interrupts the love tryst between... Paley is like,
Oh, I come out like the Duke in Moulin Rouge.
okay. She comes over to you and does a little twirl around you and then holds your hand, looking up. Do you do a dance? with
I
her?
just stroll over and just do an over-exaggerated, like, kiss of
She's
the
like-
hand. Just...
She looks at Eldon, and then back at you, and then at Eldon, and back, and she just keeps doing that. As the story, as the story
Bowie.
unravels,
That's the first one that comes to my head.
secrets buried beneath layers of deceit emerged. In my pursuit of truth, I found myself caught between loyalty and the yearning for justice, knowing that the path I treaded was paved with risks and consequences. But lo, I had a dream. A voice boomed inside my head. Me, the chosen for this message, and said, under the beam of the starlight, you will point the way to her, and they will follow. He gestures off, almost haphazardly, towards the right. And Kethra, you notice that Melpomene is no longer standing backstage where you all were, on the other side of the stage. What do you do?
Real quick, just to add some extra flavor, I want to use thaumatology.
Thaumaturgy.
Yeah, that one too. To have changed my hair so that it looks like just jet black, so I look like a evil guy.
Okay. You are selling
You
the
look like
evil guy.
Snape.
Am I controlling any sound cues or just light?
You just have light. Oh, I would say you could have like a soundboard type thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't have thaumaturgy. Otherwise,
Right.
you do
I
have
want to
legit.
be. Yeah.
She's,
I want
she's
that
working
part
the lights
to like
and
echo.
she's the DJ.
That when he was
Yeah,
saying
she's got
that part.
she's got a
Okay.
foot
Yeah,
on it.
I wanted to
get
have like an
switches.
echo to it.
Okay,
That'd be
so
cool.
under the beam of the starlight, light, you will point your way to her, and they will follow. What do you do, Kevin?
So I'm on the right side of the stage. So
You're on the left side. Melpomene was on the right side.
Okay, and he's pointing to the right side
He's
of the stage.
pointing to the right where she no longer is.
Is there any way for me to go like around the stage to figure out where the hell she is?
You can't, as you are right now.
Okay.
Do you have Misty Step?
I do not. Do you have any more wild shape? I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
But you do have Nyx.
I do have Nyx.
No, you do.
You had a short
we took
rest.
a short rest.
Oh,
Oh.
I do have wild shape.
Then there you go.
Hold on. Gotta figure out what's the best thing to be.
What is this?
You don't have to have
Bird
stats
with
if you
this
just
fool?
want to do like I'm gonna turn into a mouse. Bam.
Almost every
Like
character I played has
whatever
had,
you wanna
like,
do.
Misty Step, so I'm used to be like, I can teleport.
Yeah, just turn into a mouse.
Okay.
And just run around. And
You could be a mouse, you
I'm
could be a
gonna-
moth, you could be a spider, you could be
I'm gonna
really
say the
whatever.
same
Ooh.
thing I said to him. If you had a funny bone in your body, you'd choose bear again.
just walk her through. Move, bitch. Like,
That's not suspicious at all.
I think I'm gonna turn into a mouse, and I'm gonna first tell Nyx to watch my back to make sure nothing tries to kill me, and follow me, and I'm gonna see if I can try to find Melpomene.
Okay.
Nyx, so you can go try to find her together.
All right, so you're dashing across the stage, trying to be as quick and quiet as possible as the stage hands are moving beach stuff and people are swirling around. So there's kind of a combo thing where you don't want to be seen by the stage hands and you also don't want to be seen by the people out in the audience because that would be really bad for the reputation of the show. So let's do
I mean,
a.
it's like medieval times. Like rats are part of the chorus.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's fantasy time, so she keeps a very clean, clean theater. So go ahead and roll a stealth check. I'm gonna say. First, we're gonna go with perception, actually, so that you can see the best route.
Tell me that's not what I think it is. Oh, that's way better than I thought it was. 7 plus 4, 11?
Okay. So you're able to kind of like duck and weave. You run across. Is Nyx following you, or?
He's kind of just staying as far back as he can to try to keep an eye on it, but if he has to dart, he will.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to be seen by anybody, because as a cat running across stage would be kind of bad.
Okay, so there's you kind of duck and weave around, and Sharner does not see you, and neither does Actually, I'm gonna roll for Karak. No, with a natural 6. You across the stage. Roll a. Actually, that was for you finding the best way. So roll a stealth check. I already rolled for him, but.
It's 12 stealth plus 2, 14.
Okay. I just needed to get above what I rolled. So you find your way looking and then run across the stage through the cardboard cutouts that are pushing the waves back and forth, stopping for a moment behind the sand and then ducking as like Kurak pushes his piece forward to block, and then you can run and run. And he's like kind of looking out at the stage because he's got this beautiful smile with like these long canine teeth, and he's just smiling at the stage, at the audience the whole time. He's just like, all right, so you have dashed across the stage. Make a perception check to see if you can see where Melpomene is going. In the meantime,
19 plus 4, so 23.
okay, you see her.
I think it's more than perception.
She's backstage in her office taking a drag from a cigarette like a disheveled Krusty the Clown.
Oh, you don't have proficiency? No. Oh, I thought you did.
You see her little tail kind of. She had headed down some stairs and then around, and you can tell that she's heading towards where her office is, like in the back. So you just kind of run down. As Sigald continues, "Oh, the weight of those secrets, my dear audience. The weight of knowing how my love would be admired and sought after. They gnawed at my soul, clouded my judgment, and tested the depths of my character. In the face of betrayal, I grappled with the shadows within myself, realizing that the pursuit of truth often comes at a steep price, a price that I, Sigald Swiftflower, was willing to pay." You would notice, actually I'm going to have you make a perception check to see if you notice that Kethra has become a creature and run away.
Nope.
Nope.
No one knows that they've gone.
He continues.
You sit in the corner practicing your seagull.
But
he's like nodding off.
Oh yeah, he's in a rough
Mine.
shape.
Mine.
Mine.
and then Paley, actually you were pulled off stage already, stage left. Paley like grabs both of your hands and then runs and takes you off stage left, where she's like, "Great job." He's continuing on. He just is going and going and going, and you're
Just
doing-
one spotlight. Rest of the stage
one
is dark.
spot.
Right on him.
You do see, eventually, you can see that Sharner's like getting himself ready to be whatever else is going on during this show. But then Paley is like, "That was great. You did great. I mean, I knew you would do great, but that was great. That was a really good. Are you a trained professional? That was awesome.
No.
That was great. That was really great. You leaned right
It's
into
like
the romance. Like it was
literally wiping her lipstick off of his face.
You leaned right. Oh, let me help you with that." She like takes a little, starts wiping your face. She's like, "You should really go into theater. You'd be really good." Yeah, she's
Thanks.
really good. Yeah.
In some
How
cultures, you
close
just
am I
got
to
a
them?
wife.
I would say
What you just said just clicked. That's funny.
you're kind of off to the side. They're probably like 10 feet away from you.
It's too far.
Too far to what, here?
No, I think
she
I
can hear.
heard.
Oh yeah, she can
I
hear what's
heard.
going on.
I was wondering if it was too far. To
Like
think
10 to 15 feet, like maybe the length of this, and you're holding the stuff and watching. You all notice that Kethra is not there. Kethra, make another stealth check as you kind of patter downstairs. And then we'll have Nyx do one too, because if he's trying to watch you,
18 plus 2, 20.
okay,
Nice.
he would need to dart across that stage to maintain visual on you.
18.
All right. Okay. So the two of you, a mouse and her cat, following Melpomene.
Don't eat me, Nick.
You kind of like go around a corner and you can see Melpomene. You follow her down this little hall and she heads into her office. She closes the door, but not all the way. It's like one of those, like, she knows everybody's busy. So as you peek your head in, you can see that in her office, she heads over to her desk and she pulls out this little little purple satchel that she puts onto her desk, and then walks around her desk and over to this box that's like covered in clothing and other stuff, and she pushes it aside, opens it, and you see her start to put in like a small dagger, and like she slips it in, and this bag is probably like a hand bag size, but she slips the dagger in and it goes in like.
Oh, like the bag from the grandmother from Halloween Town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she reaches over and you see that she's got this like, it's like a helmet, but not a full helmet. And she stuffs that, like opens up the bag and pushes that inside. And you can see her kind of loading a couple more items. It's not 20 or anything like that, like a handful that she then puts into the bag and ties everything up, getting ready. She goes over to her mirror and she's just kind of fixing her hair that got a little bit, you see her fixing braids and stuff that got messed up when she was out fighting probably, and just kind of redoing the gold paint on her hooves.
I think it might be best to kind of just take what I've learned and kind of start to head back, me and Nex, and try to head back. Head back to the group to kind of let him know, hey.
I'll have you do one more stealth check for that. The rest of you, as you stand on the
10.
Well, don't you add stuff to it or no?
That's with it added.
Shit.
Yeah, I only get 2.
Unless you want to use your thing, you still have time to...
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's not a good sign. 18, 20. Yay, that's much better. All right.
So there's a moment where like you turn around
I'm
and
the only one going, oh, she rolled too high.
and
You wanted
You
to be
want
caught.
anybody else to confront her except for your character.
Yep.
you
Sorry,
turn
I'm
you go
not
to
doing
turn
that for
around
you.
and like Nick steps on your tail and there's a little like moment where you're like
Next.
but then you are able to head back up the stairs. The rest of you, as like the momentary adrenaline rush of being on stage in front of you, don't know how many people because it was so bright out there, but there were a decent number of people out there. There's no Kethra.
Where'd Kethra go? She was standing right over here.
I was busy being the villain in this apparently one-man show.
You look over and you see Elmfred, and she's like chowing down on a mouse, and she's like, "Nope, sorry, I wasn't paying attention."
Just rips its head off. The whole spine comes out.
Oh, what's that?
Kai attempt to make her survival
Viscera.
check
Viscera.
looking for Kethra.
Let's see. Would survival be the right one here?
For Kai.
Wait, did Iolite see what?
No, she was
No.
watching. She's like,
She got it.
In on
Keep
the-
Oh,
her
so I don't
eyes
know.
on
I
that
don't know this is
stage.
happening.
no. Well, you would know. You could hear them say Kethra was gone. You just didn't
Oh,
have
I
an
didn't
opportunity to
see.
even see
Yeah.
what Kethra was doing.
Is
Yeah,
Pelly still standing there?
Hmm?
The person. Is it
Yeah,
Pelly?
Paley. Yeah.
Paley. She's still standing there?
Yeah.
Is there anything on the floor around me?
Like what?
I don't know. Something. Like,
Tons of stuff. So
like a small sandbag.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm, this is stupid.
No.
I want to try to kick it over there so she like trips over it,
Okay.
like near her foot, so that whenever
When
she
she, like,
happens
turns
to
around
move,
to walk.
she might trip over.
All right. Let's do. We'll do just a dexterity check. Yeah, you can roll a survival.
Oh, I'm gonna roll again. I might regret that
You're
later,
using
and I
your
don't care.
inspire
It's a 2 again! No.
That's pretty low. It's not an at one. but
Demanded
it's-
by the
But
gods.
it was 2 2s though.
Yeah.
That's bad. I can't believe that.
14. What are you looking for to try to determine?
Kai was going to use his smell for this.
Okay.
Yeah, sniff out me and Nyx. That's weird.
Yeah, with a 14, so you kind of take in a deep inhale. Totally normal. And you catch so knowing that Kethra can do a shape, her scent would change with that, like as she changes into whatever. And you do catch this, like, as you step forward, kind of like walking around in the area, just kind of like, you catch a little whiff of, I would say, a combination of that, like, whatever the smell is that is left over when magic happens, but also
Like the smell of ozone.
Maybe.
As far as I can
Sure.
like that ozone smell.
Yeah,
like
that
after, like,
weird
lightning in a
burn
storm.
almost. Yeah. And you kind of like follow it just until it hits the edge of the stage where people would be able to see you, and get the impression that it goes across the stage.
Would after that, would I see also that Melpomene is?
You would see that
now
Melpomene is not there. And as you say that, a little sandbag goes like whipping across, like between the two of you, and like Paley steps back and like, because you did a little kickflip, like a little
Like a hacky
like
sack.
your foot. Yeah, like this one, boom, and it hits the side, and Seagal on stage goes like, eh. He looks off to, he can't quite see you, but just like, and then he begins again, and Paley looks over and she's like, "Are you all right over there, Iolite?"
Yeah, sorry, I slipped.
That's quite the slip. Okay, all right. Don't mess up.
Okay, don't tell me how to do my job.
Ayla. Well, I heard you guys had a really rough day. Okay, I'm gonna go help Sharner.
I think Kethra might be following Melpomene.
Melpomene's gone.
She has a business to run.
Anyway,
Is there a way around where?
can we get behind the stage and go around to the other side?
Because of the way the stage is set up for this particular show, you would have to go outside and like you can't quite. Sigald has demanded the entire stage, and so there's no spot to go around. Typically, there would be like a curtain.
Not tonight.
So you would have to go outside and then go back, go around.
We would have to leave the building.
Highlight. Any way you can make the spotlight go directly over his head and off of the rest of the stage?
Yeah, I can try.
Black out the whole stage except for leaving him only.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
And her love.
Once the back of the stage is black, seeing as how Kai wears all black, he's going to attempt to sneak behind without being noticed.
Okay. So, you'll make a performance check, because now you've got to confidently change up what you know Sigald wants for these scenes. And then you can make a stealth check. Anybody helping in any way? Is there anything else anybody wants to do?
You know what?
No.
Let's use this. It wasn't that bad, but I think it can be better. Nope.
Oh, can I give you guidance? Because I'm technically
you're
helping you.
Right next to me, right?
Yeah, you could head over.
Yeah, I finally get to use that.
Reach
Actually,
out.
16.
Okay. 17 total.
Okay.
15.
Okay. So suddenly, I'll say, I'm going to roll a little bit of luck. Let's just see what this luck is, to see if your change is going to just happen to coincide with some part of his story that got really intense. I will say it is, the timing is off, but like, he trips up for a second and kind of looks over, like, so that you just go like, bam, light on him, dark. Karak and Sharner in the back are like, what the fuck? And then Segald, like, for a moment has to, like, catch himself, and you recognize his face of just, like, you've got this. You're going to be fine. Like, and then he keeps going, and the lighting just happens to kind of coincide with what he was talking about. And, in fact, it kind of gets him even more into the scene. And you rolled a 17?
17.
Yeah, so then you just kind of, like, glide across this back of the stage. Sharner and Karak
Please
see
give
you.
a caw. Do the seagull noise.
Sharner and Karak see you, but they're also... Yeah, Karak. They look at you as you go across, and they're like, what's going on, man? What's going on? You just ignore them. Keep going.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand. It is going to be 20 feet above her head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to grab onto the light rope. And at the right moment during his monologue, it's going to pull so the lights illuminate the stage more.
Okay. At what point? After he's...
Hopefully it's when he's all the way across.
Oh, while he's going
he's
across
doing
the
it.
stage? Okay. So you have the mage hand, you go up and you... And this, like...
I hope he's still dressed as a seagull.
He was
No,
never
he
dressed
didn't
as a
dress,
seagull.
so he was just waving his
Oh,
arms.
I thought it was like, put this
Is he
cardboard...
even paying attention?
I thought it was like, put this cardboard seagull costume on.
No. They just went out onto stage. There was not enough prep to have
Evidently, Ayla
costumes.
doesn't care about the reputation of the theater company as much as Kai does. Okay.
The lights just go... And Segald has, like, a moment of, like... And there's Kai.
And I'm
Kai
like,
doesn't
oh my
even
God.
stop. He just continues to walk, and he's like,
just walking across the stage. Segald looks over and sees you. And then you hear him, like, there's a sputtering for a moment. Hold on.
You're helping her.
I thought he was gonna go caw and across the stage.
With a natural 20, though, Segald is able to somehow go, like, and the demon from my past. And because you're wearing, dark colors. He just launches off into this thing as you just walk across the stage. And then Karak and Sharner are like, shh. As if a demon is walking across the ocean and to the other side of the
I
stage.
picture them all like, woo!
They're like kind of trying to hide themselves off to the side because this is supposed to be his one-man show.
Do I know that she did that, or do I just think something went wrong?
Do you do it and then dispel your mage hand, or is your mage hand still up there? No, you wouldn't know because you wouldn't have had a reason to kind of look up.
We're all on the same side. Would we have noticed her?
well, not her. She's not.
Oh, you're not. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
That's the whole
she
reason why Kai went across
Would
the
Eldon
stage.
have noticed her doing any? I'm assuming does Mage Hand need like a
Is mage hand vocal?
somatic or
Visual and somatic.
No, it's vocals and hand.
Vocal. Oh, okay.
Do
It's
a
a
sleight of
walk-
hand if you want to hide what you did.
The what?
If you want to hide it, do a sleight of hand. If not, then I would say they're all kind of standing next to you. So.
there's a slim chance I'd see it anyways with a.
Everybody else is throwing it.
We're blowing these.
God, Jesus, fuck. So my sleight of hand, 8.
I'll have you roll perception because there's so much going on between the sandbag having been kicked and Paley and not feeling good.
So that's a 4
-3.
I wasted my
Plus-
inspiration.
plus 3, so it's a flat 4.
Okay.
I'm really tired.
So no, it just went like a bright light across the stage, and Segald is able to recover.
And I'm just panicking, thinking it was me.
That was perfectly in time.
yeah.
It was like you summoned that noise.
And just as you head over to the other side of the stage, you see a little mouse and Nyx going back up.
Nick's kind of looking at him like, hey. Like, hey.
Seeing Nyx with a mouse, Kai, like, immediately, like, assumes that's Kethra, but he's just gonna go wait on the other side of the stage.
I thought you were gonna go back across the stage, but like,
Oh no, so you kind of like meet her on the left side where Melpomene had been standing. Sorry, on the right side where Melpomene had been standing, and like now the three of you are on that side of the stage while the rest of the thing's going on. And the three of you would be able to see. Well, currently just Kai, but
because I'm literally like underneath Nyx. Nyx is standing there, and I'm just underneath it. He's just like, go under there.
No.
So, are you doing anything for the rest of the show? You have no idea how long the show is going to be. It could be stupid. It could be just a few more minutes.
Kai's going to ask where Kethra went, but she can't talk to me yet. He's still going to ask.
Just kneel down.
The mouse is just going to look at you like, what? like, huh?
So, we'll say another 15 minutes or so goes by of Seagal just talking and everybody like rushing around to make this a success, and then he gives his like final speech, letting everyone know it's an intermission and he'll be back to speak for another 2 hours when he's done. And then
and then I turn 5.
And then he like looks over at you so that you can shut the lights, but he's not going to get up because he doesn't want anyone to see him get up. And then the bushy branch comes out, like is pulling on the curtains to like make them close. And then Seagal comes over. Paley and Sharner and Kurok and Dust all like run up, and Elmfred is done, and she's like, wonderful job. Everyone runs over to him, and he's like, oh, thank you so much. It was been wonderful, absolutely very interesting improvisation from everyone. He's just like surrounded by everyone. So now you have a moment to speak to each other.
Did they come back?
Did Kethra change yet? So we have no idea what's going on until Kethra tells us. Kai's just waiting.
I'm just gonna turn back into a human from the mouse in the middle of it. Like, I can if you want. Sure, I guess I'll just standing there, just turn back into a person, and just hopefully no one's standing there and don't scare the shit out of them. But if I do, oh well.
You can always hide behind there's a lot of like backstage stuff, curtains,
you see, like,
and
the
clothes.
mouse run behind the curtain, and then the curtain just billows out. It's like, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'll come out and be like, Melpomene was over there, and then she was missing. So yeah, I kind of took off and spied on her. I followed her down to her office, and she has a purple bag that is probably this big, but it is fitting shit like this. It's like an abyss. So that's, I guess, where all the stuff that she's getting from the runesmith is putting.
That sounds like the bag that she brings with her.
And she was repainting her hooves.
And as you're saying this, you see Melpomene comes like around and almost does this like, I was never missing kind of. She like, just comes over and gives hugs to like the group and is like, beautiful job. You see her just mingling with and Seagal is like, I know.
She's back.
We're still on the opposite side, right?
Oh no, you all could.
Oh, we're all together now.
Yeah, like
because it
mingled.
ended.
Yeah, you closed the curtain, so you can all be together.
Is Mel still all right
So she's
there?
kind of like, there's like two groups going on. There's like your group, and then there's the rest of the Daydream Revolution, and like Melpomene, and they're all kissing Seagal's ass right now, and you know.
Does it look like Mel's got her hair and her hooves?
Oh, she looks immaculate.
And she has does she have the
She doesn't have
bag?
the bag with her. She looks beautiful. Stunning. Perfect. Nope.
And Kethra replied to her, I'm pretty sure that bag's in her office.
Did you see where she put it?
Did I see where she put it?
It was just kind of on her desk.
It was just on her desk. It didn't stick around long enough I didn't want to get caught.
Whatever happens, she will not leave until the morning time.
Yeah, but that was before the outside of the city was being patrolled by soldiers. She might try and slip away in the night.
That would be foolish considering what is going on.
I don't know if it makes any difference, but I did see her put a sword and a helmet in the bag. I don't know what that means, I don't know if that means anything, but
I do not think any of us know what any of this means.
It's most
glad
likely.
I'm not alone.
Did it look like they had runes inside of them?
Would I have been able to see that?
Let's do a retcon perception check. Ooh.
3 is 2, I believe. 5, so no.
Yeah. You were low, little mouse, kind of. The angle was inconsistent with being able to see.
It was.
Sorry, I was a mouse.
The idea was like
Sorry, I'm a
fish, the fish
Yeah,
eye
right.
lens.
It just
So
was-
everything's
sorry,
looking
I was a
wobbly.
mouse. That's together. Sorry, I was a mouse.
Either way, it stands to reason that it would be the runic weapons and armor that Lunu was making.
Well, we just have to be ready for when she's taking that bag out.
Maybe tonight we set up Theratrix and Nyx again as lookouts.
They did not do that great of a job before.
You hear next door. He's like, and I was like, oh, he just said he sucked it that last time, but he's willing to do it again.
Well,
Theratrix says, I can do it.
Perhaps if you could go retrieve us if one goes and tells us if she's leaving with the bag and the other one stays close by.
She seemed to take to Nyx. Carried him around for a little while.
I'm surprised he let her, but
I was as well.
She
has
always
a-
had a way with small fuzzy things.
so yeah, we'll send Nyx. She seems to really seem to like him.
I can watch until she leaves.
If she leaves.
If she leaves.
Agreed.
Melpomene goes, come on over. You standing away like you weren't part of the show. You all did a beautiful job. And Zagald is like, yes, the improvisation again. What was your name again?
Kai.
When you visually embodied the demon that was inside of me, that was very inspirational. So inspirational.
I
Have
do what
you
I can.
practiced before? You look like you have. You've got that tense,
No,
like he's
just
in character right now.
just raw talent.
I can tell. I can tell, young man.
You see the biggest fucking eye roll.
All wonderful. And the way that you just read my mind, Iolite, this is why. Great job bringing her in. You were truly part of the family.
Oh,
This-
thank you. I'm sorry. There was something happened. I don't know. There was some kind of malfunction. I don't
Oh,
know
at
what
the
happened
end,
there. I'm so sorry.
It was a little bright. I would have liked for it to have been more subtle.
Absolutely. I'm gonna
but-
look at everything after and see if
You know, but the
something's
demon,
loose.
it made
I don't know.
sense when the demon crossed behind me. So
You played it beautifully. You played
I
off it
did. I
beautifully.
played it off.
Didn't
It
miss a
was-
beat.
I had it.
I'm picturing Kai now because he keeps going like the demon within me. I'm picturing Kai was crossing the stage.
Count Dracula.
Yes, no, I did a great job recovering from that improv. I've been practicing my improvisation. Wonderful. Well, we're going to let them sit for a good 30 minutes, maybe 45, before I get started again.
Okay.
No real reason. We're going to do that.
It's one of those intermissions.
And Sagald looks at you, Ayla, and he says, now I know and I want to be very, empathetic towards the fact that you went out and fought. I mean, I've been through similar ordeals in my life, or at least they felt that way. I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to rest. So I'm sure that Dusk can take over if you look a little weathered.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yeah, you all look quite... Still a beautiful job, absolutely. But
He's coughing all
He still has what's her Pelly. Pelly's like lipstick, like
oh, Haley, yeah.
still like smudged on off his face.
Yeah, he says maybe tone it down a little on the sudden physical contact on stage. I don't, kiss that way.
Apologies.
It's okay. I can show you some other time if you'd like.
Always been the hopeless romantic type.
Just kidding, of course. He's much too young.
Just kidding, of course.
With the eyebrows.
And Elton's
out
like,
feelers?
no, he's much too young. He's much too young. He's a little baby.
She wasn't saying that like 10 minutes ago.
So, they are dismissing you should you want it. And Melpomene's like, oh, yes. That was... had you seen it? Yeah, quite a fight. So, we want our star performer tip-top shape for tomorrow. Right? You're the star of the show. We're still on for tomorrow.
We are on for tomorrow still. It has been a very long day.
She leans in and she just gives you like a big hug, just holding you close.
I wrap my tail around.
Then she reaches over and she's like, come on, Pebbles. She hugs you both.
My tail wraps around her too.
There's
As
a
much
little-
as it can, wrapping around two
So many
people.
tails.
She has a little satyr tail, so it's not
as
doing much. But she just kind of whispers to the two of you, like, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it okay from that ordeal. You need to rest.
Yes,
Cover.
Mom.
Get back into the headspace so that you can perform. And you can light up her life. On the
Always.
stage. All right, Wildfire. She kisses you on the forehead. Kisses you on the cheek.
My tail wags.
Good night. It will be loud, but you're used to it. Maybe you are too, but
You will get used to it.
wonderful job. Thank you for keeping the lights on. Sagald can be quite a lot, so you did very well for improv.
He is relatively good for what he does. He's just annoying.
Yeah. Right, good night. Good night, ladies.
Night. Good night.
Folks.
Ladies, strangers.
You are dismissed should you want to be.
Eldon, you have something on your face. Other side. Still there. I'm gonna walk away.
I'll like take us.
I recommend you find what is a tub bathing room called
that-
in medieval era? Like
No, it's just the bathroom. It's
find
fine. The washroom.
the washroom.
Water closet. It's all fake, so there's bathrooms.
You may need to soak for a little while.
I feel pretty terrible. It'd be
Here are
nice.
some salts.
Is there one upstairs? I'm assuming.
Sure.
Eldon's gonna go upstairs. He's gonna do exactly that,
All right. Go soak in the bathtub.
and he'll make sure to what? Scrub his face really good.
Okay. As you all head up to Ayla's room, you start to hear like the little pitter patter of like light rain that starts to get a little bit heavier as you are doing whatever it is that you're doing in Ayla's room. Like you head up there and then like you can see the balcony area. You just see like the little drops that start to hit the open balcony. And then looking out, you can see that there's no stars in the sky, no moons. It's one of those just kind of overcast, rainy nights.
I mean, presumably we've already taken our army surplus up to the. We didn't know. We just kind of like walked into the theater and were like thrust into the.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have all your
The
stuff
look
with
on
you.
Amanda's face. I can't wait to see that.
Army
you
circle.
talking about?
I was just trying to figure it out.
Tell me I wasn't the only one who saw that.
We gotta
control
give
my face
we
better.
got a gift card to the fucking army surplus
Yeah, no,
store.
I
So
gotcha.
just-
The runes, the army.
Still
runes,
have our
runes
new
surplus store.
stuff.
Right. So I mean, we just go up. Nah. Unless this destroys the magic of it, she instantly starts modifying it to be fashionably sound.
No, you can do that.
Okay.
Because it's just the rune. For this particular thing, it's not that the whole thing is magical. There's a rune that's somehow incorporated into it, and you have to be skilled on knowing like how to make that happen. But you can alter, like, to make it fit how you like.
Yeah. So while he's soaking in bath salts, I'm just beginning to like make fashionable alterations to mine.
Okay.
Kai, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
I'm gonna go over kind of away from people, like near where the window is.
So like the rain in the background
Have like
kind of
the white noise of
yeah
the rain
helps to
drown
make
out.
some white noise.
Oh, I left Eldon's stuff on the balcony. You're getting all wet.
As you're
Balcony
standing,
or roof?
No, I left it on the
roof.
balcony. My stuff is on the balcony, but he was sleeping on the roof.
as you're standing there talking, the camera pans over and you can just see like a pile of stuff that's getting rained
Just
on.
a really
like
sad
about
backpack.
2 feet away from you.
Are you okay?
Vampire.
Are you okay?
I'll live.
Okay. I'm gonna, whatever is like the worst tear on your jacket, I'm gonna like touch it a little and cast mending and fix it. So I'm sorry to ask you again, but as fun as it is, like doing the lights, I just think could you maybe give me another little dance lesson sometime, maybe in the morning if it's not raining?
You've been around the stage long enough that you want to see what the stage looks like on the other side.
Yeah, I think so. Or just at least maybe show what I can do, if I can.
I can help you if you can help me.
Yeah,
Really help all of us.
I can help you.
Talk to Ayla.
About,
Reason.
yeah, I think she's a little bit blinded by her feelings about her mentor. I mean, Melpomene's great, but something's going on. I'll try.
She doesn't need to believe everything. But she needs to at least want to know the truth.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
We all have to start looking like a team. The military, the mayor, they're watching us now.
Yeah. Yep. It's becoming more and more apparent that we are functioning as a unit now and being seen that way, so yeah.
Our fates are woven together.
Whether Ayla likes it or not, yeah.
So yes, I will.
Okay. Thanks. I'll fix one more rip.
What's Kethra doing? Kethra and Nyx.
I think Kethra would first notice Eldon shit on the balcony and go grab it and bring it in. And then she'd sit down and have a little conversation with Nyx about when you're watching Melpomene, you need to be safe. Remember the pact we made with each other. You can't leave me and I won't leave you. So be safe when you watch her. and hear. And then then Nyx is gonna go run up and jump on Kai's lap, and I'm gonna go take a nap because being a horse and a bear sucked.
And a mouse.
Animals.
And a
You were
mouse.
a lot of things.
I was a lot of animals. A lot of animals, lots of smells. I want to go sleep. Just
Your
gonna go, just
visual,
kind of lay
like,
down and try to relax, if not sleep. Just try to relax.
Is Theratrix with Eldon while he's soaking?
Yeah, at first, but he's washing up and exploring that weird scale section he's got now.
Okay. Theratrix will get up onto the body wash basin kind of thing. It's not quite a barrel, but one that you can relax in, almost like in Japan when you take a shower first and then you get into the bathtub. It's not one that you stretch out in. It's more of like you sit in it, but it's nice and deep. And he just kind of perches on it and then looks at your scaly skin and asks, "What is that?"
I don't really know. He's gonna look at Theratrix's skin. It looks like a lot like that, but it's new.
Is that why we say brother in scales?
In a literal sense, I didn't know it was true in a literal sense. I've never seen it happen to anybody else.
It's strange. When I disappeared, when the monster attacked me and I disappeared, it felt very strange. Floating. It felt like I was not whole. I believe I said this to you already. It is an unusual conflict that I have. I hope it will resolve itself in time, but there's a connection I feel with you, and then there's something more.
More?
Something is missing.
I've felt that way most of my life, and I've never really been able to put my finger on what exactly it is. So.
When we were at the tailor's, the clothing shop, and I saw the dragon in the mountain, I felt like that was what was missing.
The mountain?
No, the dragon.
You are a dragon.
That wasn't me. Are there other dragons in the Vastgan with riders?
Not that I've known of. Not that I've been told about. Master Andrax, you haven't met him yet. He'd like you. He said that I was... He wouldn't really tell me all that much. He told me that I was different. The ceremony inside the womb of dragons was a little different than others. But I haven't been told much. A lot of this is just me and now you trying to figure this out on our own.
Do they know and they're not telling you on purpose?
I don't know. When we did the sending, I had sent a message to Master Andrax, and he had said that your name was familiar, but he didn't tell me. There was no either time or... I don't know what's going on. So, I mean, we're just following along with everybody at the moment till something comes up. We'll be okay. You and I.
I think there's something missing. I wish I knew what it was.
Me too. Me too.
Maybe the answers will come as we protect more and grow and stay within the Keeper's teachings.
I hope so. It's like an itch you can't scratch. It's something that's just on the outside of my thoughts. It's like I could reach out and just grab it. I don't know what it is.
Do you think that you are not the only dragon rider?
To be honest, I don't know.
Would the Keepers have told you?
I don't know that either. I was a nestling when I left. I wasn't even fledged. I wasn't fledged until you arrived. Nobody tells an initiate anything.
Are you turning into a dragon?
No offense, but I hope not.
I hope not too. I want to be the dragon.
If this had happened before on my hands, and he'll have like pink, like regular scars. Something had happened. I think a monster had Iolite pinned to the ground or something, and I don't remember what happened. I just remembered my hands opening and energy came from them, and I had much like this on my hands. So maybe the same thing will happen over time. It'll fade. I hope so. Doesn't exactly suit me.
I would like to be the dragon.
Me too.
And you can be the dragon rider.
Until that happens, you can hitch a ride on me. You can
Just for practice.
yes.
There was something I meant to do, but I forgot.
Okay.
So, when I talked to Kai, I asked him to go over to the window. Ayla has a mirror on the wall near the window.
Okay.
And so after I talk to Kai, and I turn to walk away, I want to glance and see if I can see Kai in the mirror.
Oh shit.
So you...
That's the whole reason I went by the window, because I was like, where's the mirror? That's room.
So you have your conversation, kind of pulling him over and like arranging so that you're just... He's kind of blocking your view. And then as you turn to walk away, you look into the mirror. And you see Kai's reflection.
I'm gonna like breathe a little sigh of relief, like, oh, okay.
But as Kai's walking,
staring at you.
As Kai's walking this way, his reflection's
I was
like,
gonna say, yeah, it's like that horror movie. Yeah.
Spooky. Yeah, and I'm like,
is
I knew
that what I
okay.
missed? Was
I knew.
you guys just talked? He wasn't giving you
We
a dance
talked, and I
lesson?
asked to do the dance lesson like tomorrow, and then we talked a little about something you don't need to worry about, and then, yeah. But as I after I see it, I'm like, oh, that's of course, that was silly.
Of course. That is silly.
Not a
What's Ayla doing? Kethra had a chat with Nyx, and then has laid down.
Just chilling.
I'm finishing up, like, I just hold up my now modified leather armor and just like, and like I just kind of like lay it down, and I walk past you, and my tail wraps around your wrists, and I go, come. And we walk to the balcony, and I shut the French doors to the balcony.
Alright, so you're out in the rain.
There's like a slight overhang,
Okay.
and then I walk out into the rain. I leave you under the overhang, so we're outside the balcony, and then I just take a few steps further, and I just, now I'm getting rained on, and I'm just facing out towards the city, and just staring for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Ayla? Are you good?
Now thoroughly soaked, with her hair down at this point. I turn around and I go, quite a bit has happened, and more so is coming to a head, it seems. I am feeling very conflicted, which is not normal for me, and I do not like it. I'm going to have to bring things up that I do not typically speak of, and I wanted you to know first before I speak of it to these others, and maybe get your opinion on it, if I even should tell them about this. I'm still in the rain.
Can you put it closer?
There is a lot of distrust amongst this group with Melpomene, which I am uncomfortable with, as you know. I'm going to cut to the chase. She is visiting the Feywilds, and well, she has never told me that she has. I know she is from there, but she has never told me that she actively visits it. I disappeared as a child. One night during the Moon Festival, when I was about, I want to say it was about 4 years of age, I was dancing and I followed the music. I heard not the music from us, but just a different rhythm. I just followed this rhythm, and I found a circle of mushrooms that I could tell that the music was coming from. I was only a child. I walked into it, and I found myself... I honestly don't remember. All I know that it was warm. It was beautiful. It was home. From what I can remember and I was told, I danced and I ate. And it felt like just a short amount of time. They told me that I needed to go home. So I went where they told me to go, and I walked out of the circle once more. I could hear our celebration. I looked up, I saw the moon. I went back to the village to back to the celebration, and everyone stopped what they were doing. This old woman ran up to me, and she began to weep and held me. And it took quite a bit of time to realize that this old woman and the old man that was next to her was... well, they were my parents. But they were not the parents that I remembered from a day or so earlier. It turns out that I was gone for 20 years. And I had very large wings growing out of the back of me, which is where these came from.
Oh.
Within the week, the wings and all the memories faded. I don't remember much else besides the feeling of being there. If you have noticed the books that I have kept around here, they are a lot about the elves and that place. I have always wanted to return. I've always felt a calling to return. In the jungle sometimes, I hear them calling me back. I have never gone. I've never seen another circle. Either way, apparently, one way or another, we are going to confront Mel about this, and, well, on the one hand, I am saddened that she has not told me of her travels, and on the other hand, I have no reason to believe this blacksmith criminal that she is doing anything illicit. But whatever we do to figure out what we are going to do next, I most likely will have to reveal this information. But I wanted to let you know first.
Just when I thought you couldn't be any more unique or interesting or special. Wow. That's something. Why have you never, if you've heard them calling, why didn't you ever go?
I don't know. It was always at the wrong time. It was a week ago when we were in the jungle. I could hear them calling to me again. I heard the laughter, I heard the music. I could not go at that time. And there is nothing to say that I would go back to the same place.
That's true. And you've never told anyone this? Besides your family?
Melpomene knows.
Oh, she knows?
She does.
And she's never told you she goes to the Feywild?
No.
Oh. That does seem strange. You're going to talk to her?
I rather not. But it looks like we are heading that way, one way or another. But she knows, and, well, everyone in the village knows. Part of the reason I don't live there full time. All of my friends are older than me at this point. The friends I made, well, we know that mistake.
You must still have some friends.
Well, I mean, we are all brothers and sisters, yes. But it just never again felt quite natural to stay.
That must have been hard coming back and feeling like everyone moved on without you.
It was challenging. Technically, I am 52 years old.
Well, you look amazing.
Yes, thank you. I'm still standing in the rain. Rain on. My makeup is running at this
I'm
point.
like not even noticing in this rain anymore at this point. Wow.
You think I should let them... You think I should bear this all down on the table? Is that the proper saying?
I think he gets the point across.
Yes.
I think that whether you or I like it or not, our fates are entangled with this group of individuals. And I think it would be to our benefit to lean into it and just trust. So yeah.
Again, fate comes into play.
I know.
I do not want to believe it. But I can also not deny it.
At this point, it's really pretty difficult to deny after what we've seen and heard.
You are wise. You are wise beyond your years. If I could have had a child, you are the child I would have had. Which I cannot have children.
Can I hug you?
Yes.
Maybe, do you want to go get dry?
I am going to stand here for another minute.
Okay. I'll stand with you then.
All right, and as you stand out on the balcony with the rain falling from the sky, no stars, no moons, but the nice cool rain changing the temperature a little bit, dropping it, making it a lot more comfortable. You still see people running on the streets in the Arts District. You see people dancing in the streets in the Arts District.
I'm standing in the rain with you now.
I do
And
love
the
that
two
you're
of
like,
you.
you are wise beyond your years. 10 minutes ago, she was like, it's like kick the sandbag at a halfling.
Is that any different from
nothing to
casting
do
a
with
magical
wisdom.
hand
Wisdom
to
and-
fucking catch him in the
Whatever
axe?
that was.
That's
I mean,
feelings. That's
I
different
said
from
if I could
wisdom.
have children, she would be the one, and clearly
No,
we
I
are
get
of
that.
the same fabric.
And that's where we will take a break.
We're always live.
So we come back to the evening of Glee 15, as you had been given a chance to step away and rest. Ayla and Iolite took a few moments out on the balcony. Kethra took a few moments in bed.
Little catnap.
So you put that in a fortune cookie.
Eldon took a few minutes in the bath, and Kai took a few minutes.
Kai did Kai things. He scowled in the corner.
We come back in all wet like that like wiping. Are they wiping tears or is it raindrops?
Or is it both?
Kai,
No one
Definitely
knows.
rain at least.
Kai's sitting by the fire after
Is there, I don't think I have a fireplace in there. It's a tropical
Kai
island.
started a fire. In
Jesus. I'm like, what fireplace did you see in that
One
picture?
part
I
of
sent
that.
you?
It's using
You
your
probably
clothes
would
as fuel.
have like an area where you can
Like a cooking fire?
something to.
I feel
to,
like-
When I took a nap, I threw produce flame on
'Cause
it.
it would
and I-
be-
Even tropical places,
like we grill
medieval places,
and,
they usually
you
have
something.
fireplaces.
I mean, yeah, okay. I'm just thinking like, yes, in a regular European fantasy setting, sure, yeah, fireplace. But like, would you have a fireplace on a tropical island?
I mean, I would say
Even medieval It's fantasy. Fantasy is like the trump card.
you
It's
would
like
have
anything goes.
you would have a place for a fire. I don't know if they would have like a full-on fireplace if it's 85.
I mean, it does
every day,
rain
but
on the island, so
Yeah.
there probably would be
Place to
cold
get
nights
warm.
that you'd want a fire.
a little
Like
stove.
a little stove.
There you
Yeah, like
go.
one of those wood
Little, like,
burning stoves.
Yeah, there you go. A place to get dry.
All right.
So Kai's sitting around the wood stove.
Is there anything that you all want to do?
Change.
Getting dry.
Put on
Eldon's gonna-
jammies.
Feety pajamas. When Eldon's gonna come out and just laugh to himself because they're as wet as he is in his bath.
We'll sit down next to you.
I guess Kethra would have woke up by now and kind of came and sat near the fire and kind of like,
We're all just sitting in a semicircle, like
that feeling when you take a nap and then you wake up and you're like, I shouldn't have taken that nap.
yeah, I feel worse.
You
She
can't-
just waited to go to
We
bed.
can't take a nap past 5 p.m.
Should have not taken
Nothing
that cat
good
nap.
comes
Just,
from that.
20 minutes and it was like a
I feel like I haven't slept at
worse
all.
decision.
And are you feeling more healed at this point?
Still feel pretty crappy. Hopefully a good night's sleep.
Well,
Yeah, don't take a nap.
I was never a nap person.
Don't do it. It sucks.
I think it's high time we all have a talk together about what's going on.
I think you're right. We should start with what was with the military guy? What did he want with you?
are you in more trouble than the rest of us?
I'm in no more trouble than any of you.
That doesn't really answer the question. It's a little evasive, Kai.
That man does not smile. I have never seen him smile ever since he was stationed here. When he asks you to stay behind, it is not good.
Yes, well, people's past have a way to catch up to you.
Is that why you've got the pin?
Aye.
I'll reach into his jacket. Hold on to the pin. It's very tarnished. It's not like bright. It might be brass or old gold.
This keeps my whereabouts secret.
Secret from...
Anyone who might want to know what I'm doing.
And who cares what you are doing?
Someone following you too?
Do you have a Felicia as well?
No. If we're going to be working together, we have to trust each other, and I told you one night not to trust me.
You did?
It's because you had a secret that you didn't want out.
Kyle, look over at Theratrix.
Trust is the death of secrets. When you trust someone, you can end up keeping secrets from them. I trust all of you. This mark. This is from the Raven Queen.
What is the Raven Queen?
Raven Queen is the goddess of death.
Are you close?
Are you dead?
My life, my whole life revolves around death.
How does your whole life revolve around death?
A long time ago, my family gathered together for my uncle, his return home. He had gone off on his own, make his own name, But he finally came home to rejoin the family, agree to get married, strengthen my family ties. Well, everyone gathered. Large ceremony. Every member of my family was there. During the ceremony, one of the moons caused an eclipse. The twins. Was not supposed to happen that day, but it did. Most of my family was killed in the middle of a wedding.
Killed by what?
The moons.
They were killed by a vampire. A thing that doesn't exist in Venya. It's very real. That day, my uncle, the one who this brooch and jacket belonged to, he gave his life, saving as many of my family as he could. One of the people that he wasn't able to save was my mother. She was killed the day I was born. My family is very powerful, very old. So the attack was swept under the rug. Strange coincidence, some kind of accident.
An accident that kills an entire family.
A good portion of them. Only the most powerful families were in attendance. And you can't have the royal family admit to a weakness.
Then he's a royal family.
So you're trying to
Are
put
you
some sort of like print or something?
My name is Malachi Morningstar. Of the Morning Stars of Devenia.
So,
Would Eldon have known who that is?
I'm not familiar with that name at all.
Or the name?
Kethra, you would know immediately, being from Devenia, that the royal family are called the Morning Stars. That the queen, it's a very, like, people talk shit, because it's the royal family and you can. But the queen
Inbred motherfuckers.
has
I
a
do imagine,
son
like, Queen
who was
Elizabeth.
born on the same day as this freak event that occurred. He's the same age as the prince and princess whose mother also died on the night that occurred. The prince is a twin with his sister. His name is Malachi Morningstar. Her name is Mallory Morningstar. The uncle that's the same age of them is Klaus Morningstar. They have violet eyes. You would know when he says Morningstar, because you all kind of know about Queen Celine Morningstar. The intricacies of, like, the children and grandchildren and whatnot, not so much, but the Morningstar. Whereas you haven't seen Kai before, But the fact that his name is Kai, the violet eyes, you also would know that, like, people don't really talk about Kai, Malachi. No one would ever call him Kai either. His name is Malachi, not Kai. So, this would be the prince of your entire nation state.
Kethra's reaction would be,
My niche.
So you mean that I fucked the prince of Devenya? You didn't think you could have told me that before?
Was not in my room. Did not do that in my room.
I'll answer your question in a moment, Ayla.
Was that when we shared a room on the boat?
Was that when we shared a sleeping bag?
When did... You didn't think it would be a good idea to tell me that I was fucking the prince of Devenya on our little... What do we call it? Tryst?
Technically, the first night you didn't ask me my name.
But after you could have told me, you didn't ask mine either. It was just mutual satisfaction, and we knew that. But from that point on, you couldn't have told me that continuing to bone the Prince of Devenya. Jesus, what the?
In
Can
royal
this
terms,
could be an issue for me?
boning.
Hey, royal terms.
The
yeah.
royal bone.
That was
The royal
such,
bone.
That was such an honest, like, way you just said
Your
that.
face was amazing, by the way.
Is that
Are you
gonna
telling
be
me that I'm
no,
touching the
seriously.
queen's dick?
You mean
You were just like, is that gonna be a problem for me? Like,
That
I felt that in my soul. That was
amazing.
probably the most realistic acted thing anyone at this table said so far.
And she would definitely be like, you can see how this could be a problem for me, correct?
I'm going.
And I understand your reasoning for hiding it. I do. I was hiding it myself, but
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm selfish.
I've noticed.
And you were the first person I ever wanted to sleep with me. Just for me.
Please don't tell me you're a virgin. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, that's all well and good, but you do understand that my people have a visceral hatred for your family?
A lot of families do. I wasn't trying to be deceitful, but
As long as your grandmother never finds out about me, I think we'll be fine. But, wow. I'm sorry, I'm just still taking a moment to realize that I had, a prince lay pipe. What the fuck?
The
Kind of
prince,
like,
the princely pipe.
this
Sorry,
feather
I-
right here. This one's for you.
Ye old plumbing has been laid.
But anyway, all right.
Can we call this episode the princely pipe?
The princess pipe.
The prince.
Ayla is wrapped in a
pipe.
blanket, and as this continues, the blanket is like
Eldon
just
is.
eyeballs watching.
Eldon is blushing hard, like this with this whole
Then
thing. Like,
Kethra would look at you and go, are you
I
okay,
am
Eldon?
looking around. I'm like, they did this on my floor.
Where are they?
And then she's gonna,
Right.
Catherine's gonna turn to Ayla and go, we have not did said laying of said pipe in your room.
Ah, good.
It was
I mean, everywhere else is fake.
not since we get off the boat.
not since we got off the boat.
in the same room.
No, not
No,
not
we
that
waited
boat.
till you said your prayers.
Yeah, when you skedaddled, yeah.
He's like,
But it was our room.
So,
Did you smell the ozone when you went back in?
It was not ozone. No, I was too.
Smells sex and candy.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Sal,
smells
you
like
know
sex
it.
and
I was too.
Candy.
day.
I was too covered in my my burning leaf smell
my
to notice
musk.
it. Yeah. So you're serious?
I'm deadly serious. My
Wait, so is he in charge of an entire country? Is that what you're
No.
telling me?
The Devenia is a
matriarchal.
To your grandma is?
My grandmother is Queen Celine, Morning Star.
We have some similarities then.
She shielded me from outside eyes. Because my whole life I've been different.
Are you a vampire?
Right now?
He said that the vampire attacked him, and he was still in the womb. And then his mother died.
When we were
I do
on,
not know how these creatures come about.
he's not a creature. He's a man. Show some respect.
So my grandmother kept me secret from the world in order to hide my family's secret. My uncle didn't just leave. He was cold.
Cold what?
I cast suggestion. Silence.
What do I have to roll?
I think it's a wisdom save.
If he makes this, he's not going to shut up during your
I'm quiet.
Let's see if it carries over into real life.
So, I've always been plagued with dreams, nightmares, things that don't make sense. It wasn't until I was 16. Nightmare had woken me up in the middle of the night. I was startled. I thought I saw someone in the room. Through a glass, hit a painting, and as the water dripped down, I could see it wasn't hitting the floor, it was stopping behind the painting. When I moved it, I found this jacket, the brooch, and a diary. It talked of the same dreams, couldn't understand them.
Whose diary?
My uncle, Niklaus, the one who died saving my mother.
That must have been hard to find.
It was more hard because I was lied to. My family has a connection to the Raven Queen and the vampires, dating back to the founding of the venue. After I found the journal, the next time I dreamt, I was asked if I wanted answers. But I was warned that they come at a cost. Knowledge does not come free. And I accepted, not knowing, because I needed to know. After I did, the first vision I saw was my mother dying. I saw what killed her. Anyone I asked who was there, who was alive, wouldn't answer me. I asked my grandmother. She wouldn't answer me. So I left. Just left for the night. I just needed to clear my head. Collect my thoughts, think of what to do. That's when I met you. Outside the docks in the tavern. Didn't know who I was. Didn't care. You were kind to me. After that first night, it was the first night in years. I didn't dream.
I understand why you didn't say anything now.
I followed you on the boat out of pure selfishness. But once I was on the boat, the visions returned. When we were in the library, while you were all looking for things on the rift, couldn't find anything. But I did find something. In a book with my family, some brief mention of them dying. Next to my mother's name was written whore.
Someone wrote the word whore next to your mother's name?
Like, wrote it in the book?
In the book from Kalia. When I did more research into the Raven Queen, 2 names popped out. Something from a dream. Dark complexioned, white-haired, elvish. Loras. And a champion of the Raven Queen. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Dagon.
No. Dagon.
Of the Dawn's Light.
Dagon of the Dawn's Light. They're connected. Connected to my mother's death. I have to know. So I lay this at your feet. Because I bring extra danger to all of you. Danger from my family. Danger from the Raven Queen and what she wants from me.
Do you know what she wants from you?
No. She doesn't tell me. But her visions are getting clearer.
Do you mind me asking what your visions are? If you mind sharing.
It's like I'm seeing through the eyes of someone that I'm not. I have their feelings, their emotions, their fear. But I don't know who or where I am. But I know I'm doing what I must. I have to know more.
You said you made a deal for knowledge. That knowledge was who had the hand in your mother's death?
Why?
Did you see who it was?
No. I saw it. I saw it from their eyes. I saw my mother be killed from their eyes. I felt killing my mother.
You became one with the killer of your mother. You saw through their eyes. I'm sorry for that guy.
That is not all. In order to become a vampire, you must be killed by one. You must die from their bite, be buried, and a curse will cause you to be risen. This curse will enhance your feelings, your emotions, who you are on the inside. And it can corrupt you. Things that you love can become infatuation. Things that you hate, you are enraged by it. And you hunger. And all your feelings pervert your thoughts into telling you it's all right.
Is that why you said that? If I was a smart man, I wouldn't trust you?
If you didn't want people to know about your dragon, you wouldn't trust anyone. My secret is, though my mother died, the curse was passed, but it did not take hold in my sister. But it grabbed hold deep in me. I'm not a vampire. I'm not undead. I'm a child of the night. When I share their affliction, I am a vampire. Never met anyone like me. Most books don't even talk about it. Because my mother was pregnant when she was killed. So, I can walk on walls like them. I'm a little faster than most, a little stronger. But their curse of hunger, that's my burden to bear.
Oh, yes, I'm quite aware.
You also would have gleaned from his story that he is a twin, which is arguably, like, probably equal to the Dampier knowledge. Twins are not common.
And you were born under the eclipse of the twin moons.
I was born in the shadow of the moon of the gods. Born in darkness.
And you have my sympathies. Surely. I put my hand on his shoulders. I do not know what it is like to lose a parent, but I believe all have a trauma. And then I cast Mage Hand and slap him on the other side of the face. But do not use your magic on me again.
He just... Never mind.
I was not going to back down this time.
Ayla,
There are too many times.
I am warning you.
I could have grabbed her by the
Yeah, Eldon's gonna like step. Eldon's gonna step in between.
Not do that again. And as he says that, the blood rushes through the veins into his eyes. The whites around his eyes are pure red and causes the normally violet to be a deep red as you see his teeth grow longer. I am having a hard time controlling myself. The craving for blood affects me more than any of you. People may believe that darkness created tieflings, but I warn you, darkness created me. So do not push it today any further.
I believe you are of a understanding then.
Blood slowly drains from his face back to the pale violet eyes that you have come to recognize.
Let's not do that again. Okay?
I have a hard time controlling myself when I'm at odds with my very nature. Yes, I have used magic on you when I am not at my best. I do apologize.
apologized. And we are laying things bare on the table. So I will take the next step. Since he has gone so far, and I do not know of your family or your royal bloodline, you are just another traveler to this island that I have invited into my home.
Stormforge knows my true identity. That's why he had me wait. As long as we help him, he keeps my secret.
He's blackmailing you?
More of a, you scratch mine, I'll scratch yours. Though he won't admit it, he needs every one of us. They don't have enough people on this island.
Oh, that was very clear while we were sitting in his office. We will be going to this spooky boat to find this captain's log, so that we can get information on the symbol on the severed arm.
We plan to set out the day after tomorrow then.
Yes. And then comes the topic of Melpomene. There's clearly a lot of suspicion around her. Melpomene took me in when I was new here, living on the streets with the other performers and bohemians, singers, dancers, performers. It is hard to confront her about what this blacksmith criminal has said, because you three plus dear sweet Iolite here are a handful that I have confided into what I am about to tell you. She knows that when I was a child, I vanished into the Feywilds. Wilds. I heard music during one festival. We celebrate the moon that created us. I danced my way through a ring of mushrooms and found myself in a wonderful place. It was warm, it was bright, it felt more home than anything. I was not there very long. Day, 2 days, maybe. When they told me that it was my time to leave, I left. I was 4 years old. I had no choice. I found myself back in the jungle and went back to the festival. I could hear the music, the drums of our people. Little did I know, by everyone's shock, that I had been gone for 20 years. My parents were quite old now, and I had very large, blue transparent wings that were growing out of the back of me. Within the week, they had faded, leaving only these scars as reminders. Anyone who is from that place can tell. They can tell if you are fey touched, is what I understand it is called. Melpomene could tell. And she took me in. She trained me, and with the exception of my biological mother, she became another mother figure. She taught me how to use whatever seed was planted in that other plane. And she has never done me wrong. So to follow her and confront her about whatever her business is, it does not feel right. I did not know that she was going back and forth. I do not know why she never told me.
I hate to be the one to make this connection. We don't know if she's going to the Feywilds.
Where else would she go?
Yumari said that the rift she created never fully closed, but the Guardians kept it at bay. I mean, to a blacksmith, portal looks like a portal. He only said Feywild because she's a satyr. There's a chance that she was going to the rift.
We haven't ever seen these creatures, the abominations, wear any armor, wield any weapons.
Yumari said it could have been like someone on the other side was waiting.
No, that is something I have not considered. But again, it is not a easing or comforting thought to...
If Melpomene was going back and forth to the Feywild, why did she always return at the same time? You returned 20 years later.
I am not naturally from that realm. Maybe perhaps she has control of...
I've read stories as a child. No one knows.
Believe me, I have read every book I could find on this island about the Fae, the elves, their time here, everything.
We're not saying that she's done anything nefarious, just her actions have brought a lot of questions. And we just want to get to the bottom of it, one way or another.
Does not make it any easier.
I've got a feeling that nothing about this for any of us is going to be easy. Ayla.
As I said to Iolite, our fates are woven together. All of
I like
us.
that idea, but it is becoming very clear that that might be the case. But I'm not saying it is.
Regardless, we all have to work together now. Can't let anyone see. Can't let any of us see us not working together. So, if it comes down to it, I'll protect your secrets if you protect mine.
I will tell no one that you are a vampire king, queen, descendant, whatever
Prince.
that you are.
There are no kings in Devenia.
Yes, I've come to realize that it is much like home. I like it.
Yes, only a queen. Even the queen's husband is just a prince.
Do you have any idea who might be... how they might be looking for you? What we might be up against? You say that you being here puts us in some form of danger. What exactly?
About 1,000 years of war and enemies made by my family's name. Just having my name is enough for some to either want to kill, ransom, make me in their debt. Just adds another layer of complication. My family, my grandmother will want to bring me home. She lost her brother after a stint away. I've never left Avenia.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not pay attention to geopolitics. This island is not under your jurisdiction, yes?
No.
You are from Kalia.
That is what I thought. So, are you not safe out here?
If people know who I am, that means I represent my family. It means I represent the good and the bad. Which means I have to react as my family would. If somebody were to hit me in the back of the head, the minimum I'd have to take their hand.
I did not use my hand.
Stop them. I would have to do what is in my family's nature. So it adds an extra foil.
I'll tell you the same thing I said to Kethra when she said people were looking for her. If others come to take you, and you don't wish to go, we won't let it happen.
If they are from my family, though, we can't kill them.
Who said anything about killing here?
It was more like, why not?
Chris is like, killing, yeah.
Killing's off the table? What?
Are you killing a royal family? I mean,
Damn.
I
Like
think
a
with
Tuesday.
I think with the assassination of the Apranian, there's enough diplomatic issues going on with the island already.
So I am just Guy. Just another nobody.
Seeing we are all bounded by fates and secrets, I vow to stand by each and every one of you. We should make the pact. Like a Klingon, I'm gonna cut my hand. I'm just gonna
Kai's
Beatrix is
eyes
like-
go
pour a
red.
little bit.
Oh my God.
I know.
I was gonna go
no,
against Kai.
please retcon that,
Can we
please.
just, like,
I
can
think
we write it down or something?
I know.
I think
Drip,
just
drip.
words is enough.
He's gonna
Is this
Eldon.
not-
No,
is this
Eldon
not
is
custody?
literally gonna
No.
take that bowl,
No.
open up the door,
And yeet it out.
and yeah, and he is going to pitch that out like as far as he can.
She wraps her.
But that is how pacts work.
And this is going.
Did you not?
Hi, Kai. Hi, Kai.
Guy's eyes are
I want to know how
still
much
red.
of that was
And Nick
Cuba
is trying
fucking
to, like,
up,
touch your face to get your
or
attention.
Ayla like fucking up. I think it was mostly Cuba.
You'll never know.
We all know.
I pay more attention than you think.
I think that's I think that's really covering your ass. It was just all character.
Oh no, I am playing from the lore and playbook here.
Just grab Ayla, pitch her out the window.
I am going to push the boundaries.
Someone has to.
She's not
Yeah,
here.
so you-
somebody's got
So
it.
you just see it.
Into the barrel.
Just basically a blood grenade. It just gets pitched out.
I'm gonna right now do a star for how fast everyone reacted. The throwing it out the window, the patching with the hand. Just throwing that out there right now.
We were all like, no.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
I'm just like,
After a minute or two, Kai's eyes return back to normal.
Okay now? You okay, Kai?
either way.
Yes.
Theory tested.
What I say
Definitely should have
stands.
done that. That was kind of dumb. Ayla, don't do that again, please.
I'm just having a bad day. And I'll be honest, if I have too bad of a day, people will die.
Has it happened before?
Yes.
Theratrix kind of gets up and stands in front of Eldon. About a foot and a half tall. Just
Wilted flowers still
Yeah.
hanging around
Just
his
dry
neck.
out flowers, yeah.
The first person I told about me. They used it. They used it to get leverage on my family. When I found out and confronted them, I was informed that that's just politics of Divenia. And I lost control.
Are they okay?
No.
How many have you killed?
She was the only one.
She?
I thought I loved her. More importantly, I thought she loved me. Just a dumb little boy.
That's where Kethra's like, step, step.
Catherine's twisted. She's like, step forward.
Oh yes.
That's true. That actually
Love
actually
that.
more character.
She didn't care for me. But because of who I was, she got close. Became who she thought I wanted. Just trying to get her family ahead in politics.
I'm sorry, Kai. I can understand that. People you thought you could trust. In my opinion, she deserved it. I know that doesn't help you feel any better, but
I wasn't in control. It wasn't my choice.
it was meant to be. Some people are meant to die. And you can't carry guilt for those that are meant to die.
Dark. What helps you stay?
Just creeping up the night over here. That's my job.
Dark.
Normally a rest does it. If I get too stressed, it becomes harder to control.
It has been quite a lot. This is still the same day that we fought, right?
Yeah,
This is the same day.
long
that-
fucking
Yeah,
day.
it's like
It's
last
been a
like
long
5
day.
sessions.
We gotta
Same-
put everybody to
same
bed
day.
here.
Yeah, this day has been like 4 sessions.
Okay, yeah.
I'm having you play out a full 24 hours.
In real time.
Real time.
Yes.
So you know all my secrets.
And you now know most of mine.
It can't be easy growing up, not knowing who's really your friend, or just trying to vie for some sort of political gain. But I think that I can speak for everybody. We knew you as Kai. We didn't know you as the prince. So, with us, what you see is what you get. Friends. I'll have your back, and your back, and your back. Until all this is done with. No matter what happens, no matter where it takes us, no matter who we face.
We have already faced death 5, 6, 7 times in the last week or more.
It is not going to be the last.
Oh no, I am just saying.
Things seem to
We
be
are
ramping up.
We
bonded by mutual.
trauma.
Yes,
We are fated to do this.
unfortunately.
We are the woven fates.
I was wondering when you were going to actually slide that in there.
That sounds incredibly lame.
Theratrix goes,
Daydream of
it'll grow on you.
It'll grow.
It'll grow on you.
It's apt.
It's fitting.
It is still lame.
It'll grow on you.
Well, we've learned a lot today.
Are you a prince as well?
No.
Is anyone else royalty?
Hell no.
You say, like, the silence on that side of the table, I was like, wait a minute. What?
I mean,
Technically, probably.
soon to be, right? Like, oh, a little bit,
Uh-oh.
And Kethra would say to Kai, well, if there's ever a time I could help you with anything, maybe when you're ready, maybe I could see if I could have a vision for you when you're ready.
They are very scary.
Not tonight, though.
Yeah, that's blood, I see blood.
When you're ready.
Like, stress relief.
Well,
Eldon says it. Stress relief.
On the balcony.
It's like, there's always if you ever need a little stress, we can go do a little something later, too. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I have nothing left to hide from you. So I know my fate.
Would you like to know?
Alright, it's because a willing subject, D20, wisdom check. 4.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no
4
evil.
plus your
Wisdom, I think, is 5, right? So not quite there yet. Bring that back.
Is there a limit to how many times she can try?
with willing subjects, there is no limit.
Wisdom is 6 plus 6.
It just gets harder. So what are you doing as you try to have this vision?
I'm gonna just kind of put a hand on him and try to
Where?
see if
Say
I
keep
can.
it PG. Keep it PG.
Of course, below the belt. Of course.
May I approach the princely
Add
pipe?
advantage.
So as you, as
Little
you
trumpets.
place your hand in an appropriate spot.
As we get banned from YouTube.
There's worse on
It's
YouTube.
his actual
That's
head,
true.
people. As his actual head.
It took her a minute. I got it.
Sorry, I'm
I get
really,
it.
really dirty.
That is D&D.
I'd have to cover Theratrix's
Sorry, my
eyes.
father was a
I'd have to, like,
mechanic.
cover
That's
his
all I
little
can
eyes.
say. My father was
He's
a
like,
mechanic.
he's like 3 days old.
He's got to learn about the
Why
birds
did
and
she
the bees.
don't remember what
You
my
can't
wisdom
have the
thing
talk
is?
yet.
Like,
your
it's
wisdom
plus
check.
6. I'm like, plus 6.
Better that he learned it here
So
from
it's
us
right
than
under-
out on
There
the
it is, yes, plus 6. Okay.
+6 wisdom check or
One day,
save.
Ayla and
I
have
think
a
you're
happy talk with him.
+4, yeah.
Sit on
Better
the
than
bed.
it
Why don't you sit on the bed?
I'm
Four plus
watching
four?
R-rated
So,
movies,
eight.
and I have some questions.
Just 4. Just 4. Okay, I'm like, you just confused me. Sorry.
Eldon, I have
Okay,
found
so I'll
some
have to do
So
that.
you
Get
try to
anything.
like
What are
you put your hand on Kai, wherever you feel appropriate, and you
Want, want.
like you like close your eyes and take a deep breath and allow yourself to just kind of try to seek out that space in his mind. And there's this whisper that kind of pushes back against you, just slightly, but it's like this whispered voice that you can't understand. That's just like as your hand is on. You can try again.
And Kethra starts screaming in eldritch horror.
Have you seen Rick and Morty with the talking cat?
Put the blue
Yeah.
And one more time. How is that worse? That was a 5.
Actually, it's one better, right?
That was 1 better. I'll try one more time and then I'm going to give it up.
The whisper
Not
gets
meant to be
louder and
Did you
louder.
use your?
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
did, yes.
okay.
I got
Is
a
it-
2
Did
that
we,
time.
like
do we
really on the
all
edge tonight.
fucking
Maybe
use
it's-
our fucking
we
inspiration?
did
No,
over
I
it.
still have
No, you
mine,
still
because
got
I haven't
yours?
had
I
to
don't
take a
think
roll
it's in the
yet.
cards for you, Kai. I'm sorry.
I haven't had to-
Unless they want to give you guidance and bardic inspiration to help you, you can break through it.
You really want a vision.
Well, if there's no
I
limit.
did.
Seems like the
If
Can I
giants-
tell that she's having trouble?
So
Julie,
the
is there
first
a-
one was a 10,
there's no
then a
limit to how many
12,
times you can do
and a
it?
14.
It gets harder each
It gets
time.
harder each time.
okay.
So you
sorry.
can keep trying. So
This
you're
would be
like
my
pushing against this. We're up to a 16 now.
Can I?
No, we're done. That's a 6. Okay.
Well,
He was like,
What if it's something that makes him freak out?
He's a little on edge.
Well, then there's 4 of us. We can fucking.
What are you doing?
A couple of us can
One
tackle
watch.
it.
He's gonna.
Thanks.
Well, I was saying, can I tell
Eldon, when
that she's having
Eldon's a
trouble
little
doing
hurt
it?
when he hears that. Well,
You can-
actually, really hurt.
You can tell that she's having trouble because she she would have said something by now. Like she's pushed, like you can see in her eyes, like, you know, moving and like she's vocalizing something, but it's also like you're getting pushed and pushed against.
Maybe.
It's
an
been a
18.
long day. This is my last one, so I'm just gonna do a little muddy, right?
Thank you.
So it's an 18 now.
I can guide you.
I'll,
We're doing
Take
it.
it.
So you can roll a d4 too.
if I had pom poms, I would shake them because that's all.
You can do it.
4
16,
plus
And
1.
17.
plus
Is
your
that meant to
modifier.
be?
Plus my modifier is...
wow.
Yeah.
21.
Oh, perfect. Bitch, yeah. Sorry.
Everyone
we all
kind
have
of-
our like.
We all had to work really hard to get that one to work.
You
Because
can
we
see
all
her,
wanna know
like,
Kai's
push
dark.
it against, and
Not me.
Iolite comes over.
He's just wet in a towel. still.
Theratrix crawls over a little bit, and then also like just places his head on your hands as you're like, places his head on your lap. We'll say, just like rubbing up against, and this whisper gets loud in your head, like it's just static. That's just like it's someone trying to yell at you, but the voice can't get above the whisper sound. And in pushing through,
With that, like, static, you'd see her be like, ah, like,
yeah.
ow. Like,
Feedback.
that's not necessarily counting. So hold on, let me get to this.
Looks like I can unlock my character on the campaign page. That's why I sit here
the
with
secrets out.
a marker over
Oh
this
gosh.
because it says under race
All
and
right, I'm sending
attack.
to you now.
To be fair, I knew.
I know you
Like,
could see it.
That's
yeah.
why it was so funny when you were like, "Oh, see, you're wrong." You know, I'm like, dude, I knew like, what, like, half a year ago.
Like I said, I knew these two
Yeah.
would be like they know me too well. Where they're like, oh yeah.
It's really hard
some-
pretending like I didn't know.
So the whisper static gets really loud, and then finally you're able, as you feel the energy come from Iolite and from Ayla, and a little someone on there, and then Nick's like purring up against you, like you push past. It's like
You're really over there, like.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching from the outside. It's okay. It's not the first time he's been on the outside of stuff.
it's kind of like like you're a knife
Apparently
trying
on the
to
boat.
slice through like some kind of
He's like, even my
thick
drink.
gelatin or something. Like you're just pushing through, and then finally the words come.
And then I would just kind of like open my eyes, and they would be all black, obviously, when that happens. It says all black. It
Obviously.
says,
She's doing it.
obviously, the lost soul shall find its way home. The enemy that once thought them defeated shall tremble once more. Then she go, I don't know if that helps you at all.
Just more questions.
Sorry. I tried.
Well, it doesn't sound that dire. Anything? Lost soul. Making your enemies tremble. Trying to be optimistic here, everybody.
I am afraid every time she does that.
She's spooky.
Theratrix looks at you, Eldon, and says, "She hasn't done it for you yet.
No.
Maybe another day."
Another day.
And Kethra looks at
I
you like,
think.
I'm afraid, Eldon. I understand that I would be.
I'm
too.
feeling a lot of things. We've learned a lot today.
Today's been a lot.
Yeah.
And she's like,
And so the evening comes to a close.
Eldon's like curled up on his gear by the door because that door's still closed, right?
The
The
door,
door of the
the
room?
balcony, yes.
balcony.
He's gonna crack it open slightly so he can see the sky, and he'll like nestle up next to his gear.
I get into my 4-post bed.
I'm just hoping to change that to a 2 instead of a 3.
It has been emotional. I need to cuddle. You come. Can we just shut the curtain?
little cuddle puddle going on in there. So cute.
While it's in the pitch black, Kyle will just go, by the way, I can see in the dark.
So can I.
These two just like,
Then you suddenly hear, like, me too. Me too.
Theratrix, I too.
I too can see in the
But
dark.
Eldon, like before, like, well, I can't. How's he always?
I see for
It's
both
like
of
me and
them.
you can't see shit in the dark.
Oh, I thought you
That-
could.
that-
you
that
have
was
the
one
thing
of
that.
the
I have the
tells.
room, but I haven't put it on anything yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was one of the tells before when we walked into the pitch black room. Kai just locked eyes with you.
But I was
Creepy.
reading and I was reading the book and I just looked up.
Yep.
You looked at me and I'm like,
That's creepy.
What do Kai and Kethra do?
oh Jesus Christ! Why
oh
did I say-
God.
No, I don't need details. Just
wow, wow.
where are you bedding down for the evening?
I would
It's
first say
supposed to
hey.
be a long rest. You need.
It'd be very little rest.
It's a long rest. You only need 2
technically-
minutes.
You technically
You
only
need 2 minutes, mister.
6
I need a minute.
hours of sleep.
It's only 6 hours.
I call you the Red Baron.
You got
You
2
can
hours.
roll
Yeah,
on,
right.
roll off.
Do a barrel roll.
So what are Kai and Kethra doing?
She would probably turn to Kai and be like,
Poor Amanda.
"Are you okay? Do you need to talk, or do you just want to go cuddle with Nix?"
I think I'm just gonna sleep by myself for a moment.
Okay. Night.
Good night.
And Kai, as you
He's hanging from the ceiling like the lost
Like a
boys in
bat.
the cave.
I see you as a bat now. Yeah.
oh my god, as you find your space to sleep, what Eldon said kind of repeats in your head about how it must have been hard not knowing who loved you for you or cared for you, and yet a face that comes into your mind always is Mallory. Mallory, who looks a lot like you, but not quite, as fraternal twins are. And you close your eyes, thinking of your sister, and how you didn't tell her you were leaving either, and wondering what she might be thinking. And then, when you open your eyes again, you are stumbling across the dark plains. Your body a canvas of pain and suffering after the ferocious battle with the Lich that had tried to claim the Creststone Mountains. Tried and failed, but the cost to you had been significant. And while granted an ageless life by the Raven Queen, her champions must prove themselves worthy with each fight. She will not come to save you or to protect you from walking the dark path that she guards. The moons above seem to weep for your plight, their feeble light casting ghostly shadows across the desolate land. Your legs move on sheer instinct, searching for aid in this forsaken realm, even though you know deep down that your chances of finding it are as thin as the moon's sliver. But then, a faint glimmer catches your eye in the distance. A campfire. A small oasis of warmth surrounded by enigmatic figures. Their silhouettes dance against the flickering flames like phantoms in the night. Desperation propels you forward, your heart beating with hope, ignoring your mind and its cautions that these may not be friends. As you draw nearer, your vision blurs and your strength gives way beneath the weight of your wounds. You collapse to the ground, gasping for breath, and in that fleeting moment, an apparition appears before you, moving with a grace that defies the laws of nature as you know them. The blurred figure kneels beside you, his words flowing like a melody you've never heard before. Your ears strain to catch their meaning, but the sound feels like music in the midst of chaos. As you drift in and out of consciousness, you glimpse his face, an ethereal vision of beauty that captivates your very soul. When you finally awaken, after how long you do not know, you are lying on a makeshift bedroll of furs, and the elf is still there. Light brown, smooth skin, long blonde hair, his eyes locked on yours with a mix of concern and wonder. You try to speak, to convey your gratitude, but your voice fails you. Instead, you hold his gaze, finding solace in the connection between your weary spirits. Loris. He presses his open palm to his chest. Dagon. You feebly attempt to raise your own hand to mimic his gesture, but can barely raise it an inch above the ground. Loris smiles. And then your eyes open once more, and standing in front of you, an inch away from your face, is Theratrix. Melpomene is moving. And that is where we will end the session.